Hello. Okay. Sige mo.
Teacher, that's impossible. We can lift a dump truck. But imagine if lift, you lift a dump truck. Rio, I watched Rio teacher the part 1 and part 2. That movie where was Princess and the Frog. I'm done. Wait, everyone to get my for real?
Okay. Hello, mic testing. Okay. Hello, good morning, everyone. Are you still here?
Morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Okay. Okay, so based on our last programming quiz, okay, unsa to'y nalisdan gani ninyo?
Caesar! Caesar.
Um,
The
let's
Ato
Caesar.
Ayala, sir.
si Ayala jud to, duuyang
Ayala
Ayala.
Park.
Okay. So let me flash that problem on the screen. Where
So
is
it's
it?
balanced. Why does this keep on flowing?
Okay.
No, they're not equal.
So, I think ang uban na challenge pag-ayo ani no. Okay. So, before we start creating the code, okay, so again, as what I've told you, if medyo galibog na gani sa logic about how the problem is to be solved, one way to better understand the problem is for you to actually create the flowchart. Okay? So right now, let's try to create the flowchart, guys. Sige daw. Aw nato kung unsaon ninyo pag himo ang flowchart base ani nga problem. So right now, I'm sharing to you a Jamboard
That
session.
was my answer, teacher, heavier.
Okay?
The scissor was heavy.
Kindly
That was mine.
collaborate daw on the creation of the flowchart. Okay? So nana dira
I don't
guys
have
ang ato ang
glasses.
tawag
Oh,
ni
teacher, you have like that, teacher.
na nadira ang link sa chat box for the Jamboard session.
Okay.
Sige daw, hinahinayi ko no ninyo og himo ang kwan, flowchart. Okay. So, asa naman tong uban? I thought this was a collaboration. Okay. Usara lagi ni kabukang nag-answer. Okay. Where are the rest? Okay. So, at manawag daw tabi kaning wala diri sa ato ang Jamboard. Okay. So, there are only 3 person in the Jamboard. Okay. Asa namang uban? Okay. So, based on the problem guys, first step, unsay pinakadali nga pamaagi sa pag-select kung motor ba, car ba, or truck ba ang gamiton.
Switch, sir.
Okay, so nindot gamitan og switch. Okay, and how likely would be or how would we illustrate that in a flowchart ang switch? Okay, so upon looking at the flowchart, we could see that ang implementation intended for this code here would be an if-else statement. Okay? Or rather, naam ni tulo ka buok, if, else if, di ba? Okay, so how do we represent a switch in the flowchart? Okay, so I don't see any more activity in the flowchart or in the code in the Jamboard. Okay. So how about si Mr. Kapisnon? Okay. So Mr. Capisnon was able to get the answer correctly. Maybe he could share to us the solution for this one. Okay. Hello, Mr. Capisnon. Are you still here? Mr. Capisnon? Hello, mic test.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Mr. Capisnon, what time ka na human sa exam?
Gabi na, sir.
Gabi na. Okay, and the exam was supposed to be good for 2 hours. Okay. So, asa ani ang kinalasan nimong giansiran? Nak
Kuan, sir. 2,
nakasud
1, three.
nakasud gihapon day ka even after sa exam nga time schedule?
Yes, sir. Limited time, sir. Ako lang itiwasag answer. One raman tayo ako nansiran gahapon atong pag-exam, sir. Wala mo ka-answer sa 200 to 4. Akong gitiwas pag-gabi.
Nansira nimo ang number
Ang one ray akong na-answeran nato, sir. Kaya di na ko ka mo-answer sa 2 ug 4. Hangtod sa 4.
sa 2 ug 4. So, one ray nansiran ang right triangle. Nganong nakasud ka sa exam nga 11 ra man ni taman?
Sir, 11:30
11
PM
PM
na
po,
ata,
sir.
sir.
11:30 may nibutang?
Oh,
Oh,
PM.
sir, PM.
Dili siya AM ato ba?
Hoy, nganong na PM man to? Pero nga to ang akong giset diri AM man unta to. Ni PM day siya.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir. PM siya ato, sir.
Yay. Pero akong basihan diri sa time, i-check is kanira yung 2 hours ra jud dapat kay mao may gialat nato nga time. So usar ka number imuhang nansiran day ani Mr. Capisnon.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sige daw Mr. Capisnon. Since nag-answer man jud ka ani and it seems like you got it right, can you share to us the flowchart for your solution in the Ayala parking? Imur ka bantay ko ani ikaw man usa sa mga gagmay untag score during the
Sir,
exam
sir.
niya. Nakalit
Kinupyaran ako,
mag-perfect.
sir.
Kinupya ra nimo.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Asa man nimo kinupya?
Kasi sir.
Sa CM?
Yes, sir.
Asa CM? Unsay CM?
Gitudloan mo ko ni kuan, sir, ni kanonigo, sir. Pagabi.
Okay. So, di ko ni consider ha ang imong answer sa 2, 3, and 4 ha kay Kwan lang
Yes, sir.
ba, in fairness sa uban,
Yes, sir.
kay nilapas, aside from that, nilapas ka sa time and this is a graded exam biya supposed to be. Okay, so thank you for your honesty.
Yes, sir.
Sige, sige. So, sorry but I need to consider only one of your answer jud for this kay mo or may imuhang answer jud ka. Okay. So, anyway, manong ni PM dayto siya. So nilapas tay mo anig answer. Di lagi makita, no? So, ang Ayala nahuman ka 5 na. Oh, puros alas 5. Okay, sige. So, sige. Kinsa may naka duol-duol og answer ani. So far after ni Mr. Kapisnon, ang highest
Mouse is
so
really
far
the best.
would be
Mouse
si
is every year the best.
Ibarra. Okay, so with the time of 2 hours and 14 minutes. Okay, so sige daw. Let's try daw, Mr. Ibarra. Can you share
I put
your
my laptop in my bag.
tawag ani, your flow chart for this one?
It was a real mouse.
Sir?
Oh, can you share your flow chart for the problem?
Wala ko ka flowchart, sir.
Oh,
Ako
you
ibutang.
you have a solution man, di ba?
Yes, sir.
So kindly draw the flow chart for the solution.
Ah,
Okay? So since nakahimo man ka sa code, then therefore there's no way nga di nimo mahimo ang flow chart base sa imong code.
yes, sir. Ay, sir, pasend ko balik sa link, sir, na-end akong call ganun sa Jamboard.
Jamboard, Jamboard. Guys, kinsa to'y na-access dira? Can you share it again, the link please? Okay, thank you, Mr. Sumalino. Sige. Try to share with us your solution giunsa nimo paghimo.
Hindi na lang ko masugod sa start, sir.
Sige. So, pwede diretso na lang sa input. Okay, for those pila man na kabok parameters ang ato ang basahon. Okay, so one for the vehicle type, one for the time in, and one for the time out. Okay, so based sa iyahang constraint sa tuang input, the time in should never be greater than the time out. So pasabot ani wala siya maugmaan sa parking lot. Okay? So they use ra ang parking lot. Okay, so that would actually make the problem easier to solve as compared kung i-consider nato nga maugmaan siya, guys. Okay? So I think naman na dire. Okay, ang constraint sa ganito. Uh, hmm. So it would not be possible for the input for the time that time out is less than the time in. Okay? So pasabutan na niya again 4-day use lang jud. Okay? So dili siya maabtan og the next day kay imagine if maabtan sa next day unsa may computation na to ana mausab na pod. Okay. Sige, naka-suit na sa tawag ni Jamboard.
Spell the word done. This word
Hello, Mr. Kapisnon. Were you able to enter the Jamboard session na? Hello? Hello? Mr. Ibarra, naka-asod na sa Jamboard?
Sir, na sobra, sir.
Sige, sige. Okay. So, while solving the problem, guys, asa mo dapita medyo na ungot, okay? For this one,
Sa time conversion, sir.
sa time conversion, okay? So, sa time conversion, importante kaayo ang paggamit sa operators. Okay? So, try to check, guys, okay, how Mr. Ibarra would be using operators to solve that problem in time conversion. Okay? So, take note. Nyara, Mr. Ibarra, nagsugod na ka og drawing, wala pa.
Ana ako dito sa kwan, sir, sa kaning apps.diagrams.net gayon mo, sir, kaysa yun.
apps.diagram.net.
Akatong
Okay.
flowchart maker ba?
So imuhal lang i-paste dire.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, sige. So samtang gi-drawing ni Mr. Ibarra ang flowchart for the problem, okay? Let's try to check daw, okay? How would we be able to get the difference between the time in and the time out? Okay? So mo man na siyang usa sa problema likely ngayon yung natubang, di ba? Since ang ato ang problem dire is to be solved as to how much time is being used by the tawag ano by the customer, okay? Sa pagpark sa iyang vehicle. Okay? So to do the computation, we first need to get that time difference. And how do we solve that time difference? Okay? Using the input for time in and time out. Okay? Hello, anybody? Okay? Unsaon ka na? Okay? How do we get the difference from that so-called time in and time out? Okay, so take note, ang ato ang time in ug time out is using military time. So that means it will be from 00 up to 2400s. Okay? So given that naa kay time in, okay? Nga let's say nag-start o sa mga oras siya. 11:00, okay? And then you have a timeout of let's say pila man kan siya 18:00. Okay? So probably if kani ang given, dali ra kay nato mahibaw-an as to pila ka hours ang difference, di ba? Unsaon na to pagkabaw. So probably you can just do this, okay? Direct subtraction. Okay? So you will know that the difference is actually 7 hours. Okay? So wala ra jud na siya problema kung ingana ang time. The problem starts occurring if naay minutes section. Okay? So let's say kung 9 minutes section, problema ba gihapon siya? So let's say for instance, oops.
Are you blind?
Okay, so let's say for example, something like this. Okay? So kung ingani man gani ang time nga to ang isubtract, okay? So let's say 11:10 nya 18:30, okay? So again, that would still be very easy, di ba? Kaya nga naman, you can again perform direct subtraction with the time. Okay? So wherein the time would actually give us 7:20. Okay? So pwede ra jud na nimo i-direct og subtract given that of course based sa hours and minutes mas dagko ang minutes ug hours gikan diri sa tuang time out compared sa time in. Okay? The problem there is if ing ani ang mahitabo nga let's say for example um, sa time nato imbis nga mas gamay compared sa minute section sa timeout mas dako siya like for example kana. Okay, so if this is the case, okay, unsaon ni nato gani guys? Okay, so essentially if you are trying to get the difference between the time ani nila, di ba, since mas gamay man ni ang ato ang 3 compared sa 4, you will borrow a value onto the next digit. Okay? However, when you borrow, when this becomes 7, this becomes 1, dili pasabot 13 ang imuhang i-borrow. Kay nga naman, take note, this is not a decimal number system wherein ang number nimo has a position weight of 1, 10, hundreds, di ba? And thousands. Okay? So take note, sa minutes section, it doesn't count from 0 to 99, but ang count niya is 0 to 59. Or basically, okay, dili siya 100 kabuok values, but rather 60 kabuok values. So when you borrow from the hours section, you are actually adding 60 here. Okay? So mahagbong ni siya nga 60 plus 30. Okay? So you'll be subtracting the value of 90 minus 40. Okay? So that would give you the minutes section of 50, while for the hours section, pila na lang? 6. Okay? So mo ni ato ang time difference, 650. Okay? So kung maging ani tag subtract, okay, medyo lisod, di ba? So that's why, okay, ang gibuhat aning ni Mr. Ibarra to make it simpler is to use only one unit of measurement for the time. Okay? So instead of using this format nga hours of minutes, di man na nimo ma-perform ang direct subtraction, i-convert sa nimo ang time nga parihag unit of measurement, okay? Ang kaning mga digits gipanggamit, which is unsa may mas convenient kaha. Okay? Expressing it in hours or expressing it in minutes.
Men.
Okay? So ang uban, expressing it in minutes. So that means after taking in the hours, we just multiplied it with 60. 'Di ba? Para minutes siya tanan. Okay? So kung minutes na siya tanan, then it will be easier for you to do or to find the difference between the two time. Kay pwede ra nimo ma-direct o subtract. Okay? So mao nay usa ka problem ani. Okay? So ang first is ang conversion sa imong time para makuha nato, okay, ang eksaktong difference in terms of a single unit of measurement, which is in this case ang gibuhat sa uban is ang minutes. Okay. So if we are to convert, okay, the time format of hours and minutes. Okay, how do we do that? Okay, how can we break this input which is in hours and minutes nga format nga to ang hatag, okay, for time in and time out. Okay, so let's say for example I have this time 13:25. Okay, how can I get 13 and how can I get 25 para mabuwag nako si hours ug si minutes nga section. Okay, so everyone, okay, duha ka print. Okay, duha ka print. So take note, kas arabi nato gi-input ang time in ug ang time out. Okay? So base dire, di ba? The user first needs to input their vehicle type, which is of course M, C, or T. And of course, another input is for the time in and another input for the time out. Okay? So sa ato ang code, likely, okay, you have two variables, okay, for the vehicle, for the time in, and para sa time out. Okay? So, naan siya yung mga values. So, sa vehicle, likely, since that is a character, so assuming lang, you have here M. Okay? For the time in, so let's say na atay 13:25. Sa time out, let's say na atay 10. Okay? So, sige. Luoyan ni natong klase. Uy, si Mr. Sumalinog ra may gilagtubag. Okay? O while si Mr. Ibarra is still busy writing the flowchart, how about the rest? Okay? Asa naman to? Si, biyat ang pangitaag lain. Kinaa may uban naka-answer. Okay? So, let's see pa daw kung kinsa ning mga highest pointers. Aka ni, Mr. Codino. Okay? Taga na tug chance si Mr. Codino para magpakitang gilas.
Kanto ako sir, FL sa tong gamit.
If else. Sige lang, maura man sa gihapon na siya. But how did you manage to to extract the minutes and the section?
Na akong gi-kuan sir sa tong code eh. Wait lang. Nakoy ang una gikuha sir kay kuan. Akong gi-minus ang kuan difference sa duha time in ug time out. And then
Diretso nimo
oh
og
sir,
minus?
nya ang makuha nako nga sabi ni nga solution is sa duha sir. Akong gi-minus kay kuan. Akong katong modulo operator divide og ay kuan 100. Then ay ako lang isuwat eh. Ari sa kan.
Okay, pwede sa Jamboard. Pwede na i-share diri sa Jamboard. Namo tay Jamboard. O, kani. Ipakita diri sa Jamboard.
Ay, darang. If ano yung answer? 300. Murag, ang difference sa time out og time in.
Okay. So, how did you get the time total?
Answer, time out minus time in.
Time out minus time in.
Yeah.
Okay. So, wa nimo gi-consider nga what if ang minutes section sa time in is mas dako compared sa time out?
Naa sir. Nasa kwan. Murag, then, ano eh? Hours, time, total, 100. Para makuha ang hours siya, ang una gi-divide og 100 since kuha man ang yeah, makuha ang hours niya. Then ang payment equals to hours times 10. Ah, then para lagi times 10 then para makuha ang minutes kay minutes equals time total percent 100. Then if minutes kung kuan sir is greater than or equal to 40, kay usahay mo sir nga ay kung masobra sa kuan ba sayop na 40.
Hmm. Nyara asay mo. Naka sa Jamboard karon?
Na sir ang gi-type.
Sa Jamboard?
Ako pang gi-type ang kuan ako wala na gi-copy paste
Okay.
minus 40.
Okay, so let's try
Ay
to
wait,
check. Oh, there it is. Okay.
wala na.
So, ipakita daw giyon sa nimo pag compute si time total. So,
Una sir
kani base ni
okay.
siya sa
Total equals time
okay.
time out. Yan na ako pagawa sir. Then
Okay.
if time total ang difference is duha sir kay more than 300 which is kanang 3 hours. Sakto ba? 3 hours 60 12 and 80. Basta mo na lang difference sir. Sakto lagi 3
300.
hours. 300 since kama to military nga time. So, not 300. So, ang 3 muna ang hours. So, first akong gi-divide og hours divided by 100 to get the hours, which is kaning 3. Nga difference nila. So, hours times 10 para sa payment. Since, kung to, kani kay mura mig sa motorcycle. Kung ni if, yeah. Then, kung minutes, to get the minutes, for example, sa may kani, awa ko example. Example, kaning, kung minutes, para makuha ko minute una akong gi-divide og modulo 100. Sample kung ang time kay kuan ana 425. So modulo 100 equals to 25. Nga usahay sir kung mosobra og kuan kay masayop na mag-sample kanang 465 modulo 100 sayop to bang minutes kay 65 na. So 65. So if minutes is more than or equal to 40, 40 since common 100 minus 60 equals to 40. Ayun, go. 100 minus 60 equals to 40. Muna 40 ang igamit. So, ano siya, 65. So, minus 40 equals to, kung ano siya, 25 minutes ang difference.
Okay. Pero ang hours section na minusa naman din, no? Okay.
Nigana naman sa ko
Lagi. So, as you can see guys, okay, ang sa gibuhat niya dere, gidirect niya og subtract ang value ni time out with the value of time in. Pero ang correction niya for that portion wherein mas dako niya ang minutes section ni time in compared ni time out is gi-correct na niya diri dapita. Okay? So, let's say, if the minutes there no is greater than or equal to 40. Okay, when you do the subtraction, mo ba? If greater than or equal to 40, nyara ha?
Ang trend daw, sir.
Okay, what if kundi ay um
Ng
ang
45.
ang sa timeout is 59. Unya sa time in is 5. Ah,
Wait.
nyara. Mm. So 59 minus 5, 54. So that is greater than 40 minutes. Okay.
Dili na 60, sir. Like,
Hmm.
minutes is greater than or equal to 60 rather than 40.
Try kog 60 sa yup man to. Ay, ako na testingan balik.
Okay. So, mao na siya usa sa kwan. Medyo nakalisod ani, di ba? Okay, daghan kay kag i-consider nga mga possible combination. Okay? So, good thing ni ang iyahang answer ni sakay sa test cases. Okay? Kay again, kato ato ang gipakita ganina, okay, katong scenario wherein let's say for example, ang minutes nato for example like this, di ba? 25, 13:25 niya ang timeout nimo is 2010. Okay? So let's say kung ato ang gamiton ang iyahang kuan diri guys, ang iyang algorithm. Okay? So minus ang timeout sa time in. Sige daw. So 2010 minus 13:25. Okay? So since direct subtraction man niyang gibuhat, so this becomes 1, this becomes 9. Okay? So this becomes 11, this becomes 10. So this is the difference between the two. Okay? So 6 and you have 0. So 685 ang iyahang gi butang diri no as a result sa subtraction. Unya, what he did here next is iyahang gi unsa ni siya? Hours is equal to time total divided by 100. Okay? And what is 685 divided by 100, guys?
6.
Okay, so take note, dapat ang ato ang time total should be integer ang iyang declaration. Okay? So, nganong 6 raman, i-divide na to 100. So, take note, katong sa rule sa operators, when you do division of integers, it will actually perform truncation. Okay? So, ang decimal part, mawagtang, and you will only be left with the whole number part for the quotient, which is, in this case, ang 6. Okay? So, that is how we get the hours section. Gikan dire. Okay? Then, ang minutes section. How did we get the minutes section? So the minutes section can be extracted by performing modulo division. So of course, when you do modulo division, that means ang mabilin nga numero which is not anymore divisible by 100 kay either kulang ba would be removed, okay, or will be taken as a result. So there we have it. We have 85. Okay? So that is how you got the 85 and 06 from the time nga 685. Okay? So gamit kaayo jud guys ang imuhang mga operators. Okay? So essentially, again, diri to get the R's, we use the division operators to extract out the hundreds section. And to get the ones and the tens section from our number, we made use of modulo 100. Okay? So, di ba, any value above 100 is taken out, leaving only numbers below 100. And that is how we got 85. Okay? So guys, nasabtan ra ba na gyud sa paggamit or pag-extract ang minutes section from the total time? Hello guys? Hello? Okay, sige daw. Let's try to turn on our camera daw be para makita nato kung kinsa pay naas klase.
Sir,
Okay,
mana, sir.
lisod kaayo istorya and think kung naabay naminaw kung di nato makit-an ang mga dagway. Okay? So, nasabtan ra ninyo giun sa paggamit ang division operator o ang modulo operator to extract the hundreds or the hours section and the minutes section. Okay? Okay. So, based dire sa solution ni Mr.